So the problem is that you have some data that you are importing, and the data needs some tidying up. And of course, we've got Excel functions that we can use to tidy data up. Not enough people make use of Power Query. Now, Power Query sits inside Excel and allows you to do some powerful transformation of your data. And if you're going to move to using Power BI as well, it's really important that you use Power Query. So let's just have a look at a straightforward example for your first delve into Power Query. So I'm going to go to my data ribbon, and I am going to get data from a file, and it's in an Excel workbook. And there's the one I created earlier. And what it does is it goes into Power Query. So in here, I have the table of information. I've got the personnel list. It's actually the same data. It's just that it's identified as a table for the sheet. So instead of just loading that in, I am going to transform the data. So this actually goes in to another app, which is our Power Query. And what we're going to do is just make a couple of simple changes in here, just so that you can see how this would work. And I am going to select the first name column. You'll see that it identifies the type of data with each one. So this is all bringing in text columns. And when I right click it, I have some opportunities to do something with this data. So you can change the type to a different type. And I am going to transform this data because I've got some in capitals, some in uppercase, some in lowercase, and capitalize each word. And what you'll see is that it has done that, it's carried that out. And I am going to make sure that I have also trimmed it. Trimming will remove any leading spaces and any trailing spaces, but not any spaces between the data. And you'll see that it is actually following these steps in here. So as you delve more and more into Power Query, you realize that you can actually apply those steps again and again if you are importing data. But for today, we are just simply going to tidy this data up by capitalizing each word and just trimming the data. There is more, as you could see, that you do with it, but for your first go into it, then that will convert it rather than in the Excel spreadsheet itself. And then we just go back to file. Closing is closing the Power Query and loading it into the spreadsheet that we are in. So we close and load it. And that is our data just transformed from what it was without all of the formulas within the spreadsheet. And there is our query that is over here. If you change that original spreadsheet, we can look at that in another video. Cut that last bit, Michael, sorry. See you next time.